Oh my gosh! Hello, everybody. And
that's our new lead-in.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the MLO Bros. I'm Isaac. Luke is late, as per usual. It's me and Joe right now, sitting in the studio. Thank you so much for watching us this morning.
You did not enter a number.
You're messing up my intro, Joe. Luke's walking in right now. It is Tuesday, June 24th. We got a show for you today. Youngstown Stock Channel, live in downtown Youngstown.
There's a giant freaking.
I know it took a little bit of a. What do you know? We're in downtown Youngstown. What is there? How's it hard to get into our parking lot? It's hard to get because of road construction. What do you know? They're doing road work. It's the middle of summer.
Sorry, I'm like that literally threw me off. I mean, it's like
eventually you're going to show up at 10:29 and do 1 minute with Luke.
Youngstown Studio, the MLO Bros, teaming up for Youngstown Talk Channel. You can call in 330-595-1600. We're taking over Youngstown Radio. Youngstown Radio is coming to an end. They're all dying. We will replace them. You turn us on at 9 a.m. When you get to work, turn us off at 5 p.m. That's the eventual dream. But we got a show for you today. Luke.
Can I do the phone thing again? It's going to interrupt you, but your intro's done.
Do the stinking phone thing,
did you do at everything?
Yeah, I did. At everyone.
Thank you for calling Call-In Studios host.
Also, Luke.
Yeah. What do we got? Sorry.
I walked in wearing this hat today. I sat down. BJ walked in. I just eyed him up the whole time.
You look.
I just eyed him up.
It's kind of an Indiana Jones, kind of an Australian look. It's almost
like
Australian.
It's like a sun protection hat. I've been wearing it around because it's so hot outside. And then you gotta button it up. Like, so the question is, would you wear like that, or do you zip it just in case?
Zipping is ridiculous.
You never know when a wind gust is going to come.
Yeah, zipping it's not where it's at.
Look how protected I am.
No, zipping it's not where it's at. No, I go like halfway down.
It's like a crocodile.
Like halfway.
It's like a crocodile.
No, like a little bit higher.
A little higher.
I'd say right there.
Right there.
That way, if a wind gust comes, you're still going to get it.
But it doesn't like blow it all the way.
And
off.
It doesn't look ridiculous, like you're choking yourself intentionally.
I think I like the protection.
What are we talking about today?
Okay, so to start the show, let's get that guy ready to call. Can we get his number and everything?
There's a guy.
Oh,
we gotta call Mike.
Yeah.
I totally forgot.
Yeah, we gotta call him. We can't forget about that.
Totally forgot.
While Joe's doing that, get his name and everything. Write his name down. I'm gonna since it's
Mike. I don't have his number anymore. Hold on.
We need to find his number. It's right on.
So for the record,
yeah,
we're doing this every podcast until taxes are due. We're calling Mike Cohen.
Yeah, and then when he's late, we're gonna become bounty hunters. Collection agency
from the Cohen Group that owns the mall. This is going to be his daily reminder.
His twice a week reminder that he has to pay his taxes. This is a guy who owns the mall, the company that owns the mall in Boardman, because everybody in Youngstown is worried about them not paying their taxes. Twice a week on Tuesdays and Fridays, we will be calling them at the beginning of every show, leaving a voicemail for this guy telling him, hey, don't forget to pay your taxes. The people of Youngstown rely on this.
All right, hold on. Okay.
So while they're doing that, I have some fun sayings since it's hotter than a hoochie coochie outside. I have some fun and classic funny sayings for hotter than.
Okay.
So you guys do your thing. I'm just going to let the people keep the people entertained here. You got hotter than a $2 pistol, hotter than a goat's butt in a pepper patch.
Hotter than a $2 pistol?
Yeah, I don't know. It's AI. I'm just trying to figure out
$2 pistol
people. Hotter than Hades, hotter than the hinges on the gates of hell, hotter than a firecracker on the 4th of July, hotter than a cat in a tin roof, hotter than a stolen tamale, hotter than a jalapeno's armpit, hotter than the blue blazes, hotter than Satan's sauna, hotter than the devil wearing leather in July. And then ChatGPT's like, oh, here's the southern and country style saying. So hotter than a billy goat in a pepper patch, hotter than a $3 pistol at a turkey shoot, hotter than a fox in a forest fire.
Thank you for calling the Cohen Retail Investment Group.
We'll go right into that.
Okay. I'm not.
I'll do it.
You do it?
Yeah, I'll do it. When's the date? Taxes are due?
August 1st.
Isn't it August?
It's August 1st.
Yeah, okay, I got it. I'll take care of it.
Was it August 1st?
I got it. I'll.
What was the number? What's the number?
Yeah, give me the number of taxes. Hello?
Yes.
Is this Mike?
Yes.
Hey, Mike. This is Isaac Schuster from the MLO Bros. How are you doing today, sir?
Isaac from where?
The MLO Bros. We're actually a live talk show in Youngstown, Ohio. We're actually live on Facebook right now. Just wanted to give you that heads up. But we are like advocates of the Youngstown community. Like I said, we're live on air right now. We just wanted to thank you as people who love the mall in Boardman, that you might have been a little late, but you did pay your taxes in June. And we just wanted to remind you that taxes are due in August and to remember to pay those. As advocates for the people of Youngstown, we appreciate you and we want to keep the mall the beautiful place it is.
Not a problem. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Wait, while I have you, may I say that just elevator pitch here. If it ever comes to it, and you need to do something cool at the mall, maybe chop the roof off of the mall, and then you can make it like you could put like a glass ceiling on it, make it like a greenhouse, and then the people of Youngstown, when it gets really cold in the wintertime, could walk their dogs. And like, dude, I would even do like a door fee, like a monthly subscription, like $5 per person. The mall's like a park. It would be sweet.
All right. I'll think about it. I'm in a meeting. I'm sorry. Just called me in a meeting.
No problem at all, sir. You have a wonderful day. We'll call you next Tuesday.
Well, there goes our chances of ever.
He picked up. He picked up. He picked up.
That's amazing.
He picked up.
There goes our chances of ever interviewing
Hey,
a guy.
here's the best part. Now we can say
We spoke
that
to him.
he got our message at least once.
Yeah.
So when he ignores us in the
Confirmed.
future, we
Confirmed.
can say we did remind him multiple
Wow.
times.
I can't
Are
believe
you going to continue to call
Oh,
after this?
100%.
Or is it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no, we have to.
All right.
It's a service.
Because
I can't believe he picked up.
the best part is
Wow.
now come August when he pays his taxes on time, we can take credit for it.
You did that.
Yeah, we did that.
Can
And
you
then
look at the comments?
even
Oh my
better,
gosh.
if he doesn't pay them, we'd be like, well, we've been trying. We've been trying.
Was that awkward? That was so awkward. I felt
Yeah.
like awkward. Was that awkward?
Yeah, it was awkward, but I did it.
Was
This
that
is
aw-
this is
Dude,
my
Mike-
this is my life. This
Dude,
is my
I'm
life.
not gonna say he legitimately picked up his phone. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Somebody that like
This is all thanks to Luke making me do
Black
cold.
Sun said you couldn't hear him. Oh, is it
Couldn't
not
hear
up?
him.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, well, he was definitely there. He was very
so if
cool.
you just missed that,
This is all thanks to Luke making me cold call clients about mortgage services. I could cold call anybody.
yeah. So if you didn't hear him, cut the roof off the ball. Yeah. So if you couldn't hear him, we just spoke to Mike Cohen on the thing with our daily call. That's
That's
crazy
the dude
he
who
picked
owns
up.
the mall.
That's crazy.
Listen, Mike, we love the mall. Don't you ruin this for us.
He said, Brian McHenry just
No, isn't it not a great idea? I've been
Yeah.
telling everybody
Yeah.
because we get so cold in the wintertime. We have nowhere to go. Make it a greenhouse and just put like stores and restaurants in there. Make it a monthly subscription, like something super low, like $5 a month. People go walk.
We should have hit him up to interview him. Is what we should have done right there. Is we should have said, "Hey, let's get this."
I've got great news. We can call him Friday and then Tuesday and then Friday again.
No, I
forever.
think this number is now on his radar as something that will easily be blocked.
How-
I don't think he will ever.
How
pick up
easy is it
again.
to just switch our number?
It would be difficult.
Oh, really? Can't do it. Is it a Google number?
It's okay.
Okay.
Like I said, we talked to him at least once now. We got that. Things are looking up, boys.
He said
Things
when
are
you
looking
said
up.
when you said the greenhouse roof, he's like, "Okay, yeah, we'll keep that in mind."
He's like, this freaking idiot. What a
I can't
weirdo.
believe he picked up his phone.
You could tell he was a little nervous that we were live on air, though. You know?
Oh, dude, he has no idea who he's talking to
Right.
until you said, and then he's like, "Oh my god, I just got a bunch of freaking crackheads." Because
Hang up.
that was funny.
Okay.
That was good. That was awkward.
So-
oh my god, I was like crawling in my skin. It was so awkward.
Yeah. Telling a guy he's got to pay his taxes is a little tough. telling a man, don't forget to pay
Sorry,
your
Jerry, how you
taxes.
put in for that interview? That is not going to happen.
We
No,
said,
I'm not connected to this show at all.
Hey.
My name is Herman Smith.
they were live on air. You were a little late for your taxes in June. Don't forget to pay them in August.
You just sent it to like a multi-million-dollar.
Yeah, that guy probably wherever you are comfortable in Florida or whatever.
Alex Evans definitely shot your load one and one time only. Won't give you a chance again, given you are now on his radar. Alex, don't underestimate us. We'll
But
give him
in
a
their
chance.
defense, they did not think he was going to pick up.
Yeah.
Either of you
What
thought.
did we do wrong? We didn't do anything wrong. I'm
You
looking
just
out for
told
the
guy
city.
to pay his taxes.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? I'm looking out for the people of Youngstown. People that
And then you
love
said-
the mall.
And then he goes to hang up. You say, "Oh, 1 second.
Elevator
I
pitch.
got an
That was the
idea."
worst. That was
You
the
can't-
worst. If
you-
all the elevator pitches
That
that
was
you could have
terrible.
made, that was
That was
awful.
I thought it was a great idea. The people of Youngstown love it. It's cold up here.
I would have went. Let's get you on the schedule to interview you. Not
Listen,
cut
listen.
The roof off.
Oh,
of the
I'm
building.
sorry. I have all the responsibility on my shoulders of talking to the millionaire on the phone and
But
leaving
there are an
messages.
infinite
Yeah.
amount of asks that you could have done there, like adding anchor stores, expanding the restaurant selections, like anything would have been better
I
than
like my
chopping the
idea.
roof off of the mall.
Listen. Hey, maybe another
Fixing
day.
the parking lot.
Maybe another day, one of you guys could call, okay?
Listen,
On your turn next Tuesday and Friday, you guys will see how great you do when you're put on the spot. I was just nervous, and I like the idea.
Anchor. So what else, Joe? New business. Anchor.
the dude just struggled to pay his taxes, and you want the expense of cutting the entire roof off the mall,
Yes.
planting trees, and making a park in the middle
Yes,
of the mall.
I think it's a great idea. It's expensive. I never said it was going to be cheap. That's why I'm trying to think of revenue generation, $5 subscription service.
You did say you could charge at the door.
Yeah, charge at the door. Charge at the
have
door.
a cover charge.
And then he's
to
gonna.
enter the mall.
This dude's gonna like look us up. He's gonna like, who are these guys? Hey,
Chris-
why is that
Chris-
guy wearing an Indiana Jones hat?
Brian said,
Why are they wearing cutoffs?
Tommy just such a Tommy Boy moment. JoJo at the Idiot Circus Club.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was on brand though. Like, I'll give it to you. That was good.
Crystal likes the idea. It's like a botanical
Botanical garden. You know what Youngstown needs? Botanical garden.
garden. You getting him on the phone will now get on the 6
Hey, you know what? You know what, guys? I just want to say some of the most successful people on planet Earth that live and have lived were called and told they had bad ideas. I don't know about live on air, but they were harassed and they were called stupid and their ideas wouldn't work. My idea will work. Okay.
So, were you sitting on that idea for a while? Did
Yeah, I've
you
been
just
sitting
make
on it
that
forever.
up?
He's talked about it before.
I love that
In his
idea.
defense,
All right.
he's talked about it.
All right.
In his defense, he's talked about it before. I never actually thought he would present it to the CEO and owner of the mall. However,
In that moment, like,
Listen. Everybody critiquing me at home. Nobody else has had that opportunity, so I took it. Okay.
all
I
right.
had the opportunity and I rolled with it.
The other news, like WKPN has probably been aching to talk to that guy, and they're right. There's like, oh my god,
Yeah, the news doesn't have the dedication to call that guy every Tuesday and Friday at 9 a.m. live on their talk show. They won't record themselves calling that guy, and I just did it. Okay,
And none of those anchors would have made that pitch.
none of them.
None of them.
So hate all you want, news station. I'm over here doing what you can't.
What if the guy's in a board meeting right now? Like he was legitimately, he picked it up,
Yeah,
and he's in a board meeting, and he's talking to you on the phone,
Yeah.
and they're all like, "We need new ideas. We need it." And so he doesn't have his home,
Yeah.
so he's just talking.
yeah.
Hangs up the phone, and he's like, "Guys, I got an idea."
What if WFMJ gets the interview where he's like, "Listen, taking full credit for this idea, it just came to me."
I want
gonna
to help Mahoney.
I'm gonna be like, "God damn it! He took my idea. He didn't even give me credit."
I got an idea for Boardman, guys. Everybody listen up. We're going to cut the freaking roof off that thing, and we're going to charge at the door.
If that happens, I just want everybody to know at home, I'm fuming, just pacing back and forth, screaming at the TV.
God damn, Mike Coe
I would
took
like
my
to take
idea.
absolute full credit of this idea that I had. Just came to me last night while I was laying in bed. We chopped the roof off of the
It's like, we
top
got
of
an
the
idea.
mall. We put glass and we make it like a sunroof type thing.
Yeah.
put some trees in there.
Board member, all the board members like, oh my God, Mike, that's why you're the CEO, Mike.
It's coming to me. It's coming. Botanical garden in the mall.
Oh, they're just clapping. Mike, this is why.
You're such a genius.
This is why you're so smart, Mike. Damn. This is why. You're terrible at paying your bills on time, Mike, but you have great ideas.
Krista said, just fill it up with water, turn it into an aquarium.
Love it.
I like it.
Sharks.
Giant aquarium.
Oh my God, that was great.
Just imagine the intern at WFMJ that is forced to watch our show they've also forced to try and get a hold of this guy, and they've had no success, and they're just like he runs out of the room with his notepad. He's like, "You're not going to believe what the idiots did today."
And by the way, you might think we're full of crap. You might think this comment's full of crap, Joe. You might think so. I can confirm without a shadow of a doubt that WFMJ, WKBN, and WYTV all watch our shows, listen to our
like
show.
I said, or at least have an intern that's working for free. Force him to watch the show.
100%. Because I have called WKBN before, and even though I can't stand WKBN on all of them, to leak information to him to give him info to run with the story because I want to get it out there. I called one time, and I'm like, "Hey guys, I changed my name, even though I know it was I blocked my number so they couldn't see it. Changed my name, and I'm like, "Hey, this is Steve Spencer from blah 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 blah. I have this story I'd like to now again. I'd posted a little bit about it on the MLO Bros. I just wanted to give you guys this information, this cutting edge info, and wanted to, just so you guys can know it." The girl immediately was like, "Luke, did you block your number?" I'm like, "This isn't Luke. What are you talking
Who's
about?"
Luke? But he sounds like a strapping young man.
She's like, "Luke, did you block your number and change your name?" I'm like, "This isn't Luke. I don't know what you're talking about." She's like, "Luke, just stop." She's like, I was watching your live stream. I'm like, "Okay, yeah."
I don't know who this Luke fellow is, but he sounds handsome.
He sounds so handsome. Oh God! All right, what else are we doing? That was funny. God, we got to keep that going.
So moving on. Have you guys followed? I put some notes down here. Have you guys followed the NBA Finals at all? And this won't even, for those who are like, I don't want to talk about basketball. Just think about this situation of this NBA player.
Lucas called me into the. I haven't watched it. I only watched the Cavs go.
Yeah.
Lucas called me in and said, "Dad, watch this at on Sunday." The dude's Achilles snapping because he was comparing it to the freaking a-hole from the Browns Achilles snapping, what you see is the muscle snap. Shooting.
Yeah. So, but here's
his Achilles?
Yeah, it was his Achilles tendon. But here's what I want to talk about: not just basketball; it's the statistics of getting to that point and then failing. The doorstep of greatness and then failing.
Okay, wait. Doorstep of greatness is in winning the NBA Finals.
Yes. And then you come that close, you're in game 7 and you fail.
Okay.
So just think of the statistics of it all. So there are 537,000 basketball players in the United States on a high school team.
Boy, we're going to high school. Okay.
Yeah. 3.6% are 19,000 players from high school boys.
Okay.
Move on to play in college.
From 500,000, 19,000, move on to college. Is that D1 or just any college?
Any college.
Okay, got it. Okay.
19,213 basketball players in college. Only 4,270 move on to become draft eligible in the NBA.
Not even on the team.
So you were funneling down.
So you go 500,000, 19,000, 4,000.
There are 450
holy crap
active players, 15 per team out of 30 teams in the NBA. Okay. Only 13,
what was that number? 400?
450 active players in the NBA. You were taking a pool of 537,000 people. And then this is just active players. These are old people. This is like LeBron. He's old.
Yeah. Right.
Wow. So 450 active players, 15 per team, 30 teams. In a game, you can only sit on the bench 13 players, 5 play.
So funneling down for 500,000 to 13.
390 people are actually playing in the NBA.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
150 players are starting because 5 players per team are starting.
Wow.
Now, moving on. Those statistics are freaking insane. Okay?
Right. Wow.
Now you come to the finals. The final game, you play a 7-game series to see who's the best team in the NBA.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Indiana Pacers.
Right.
Enter Tyrese Halliburton, this cat who got hurt.
Who's really
Playing
good,
for
by
the Pacers, very good player,
Yeah.
starter,
Yeah.
scoring, averaging, and in the finals, I think in this season he's 16 points a game.
Okay.
But he's in the finals, he's playing really hot. He's getting like 20 points a game at least. In the last 3 games of the finals, he was suffering a lower calf injury.
Okay.
He couldn't figure out what it was. This dude, game 7. You've come all this way from
so you
high
go
school
all the way
down
to
game 7, which you are a stud. You are going to you might win this game.
Yeah.
You might win this game. First quarter, it's 16-16. Tyrese Halliburton has already scored 9 of those 16 points on your team.
right.
Blows out his Achilles. You are so damn close.
Yeah.
Like, think of how far you've come.
Losing him
and
killed him too, because he was
And by the
ridiculous.
doorstep of greatness, I mean, just in anything you do, you
almost
go
won the
from this
championship.
giant
Yeah.
pool to becoming the best, hone your craft, the absolute best of your ability, and then you fail at the freaking doorstep, the last game. And they ended up losing like 91 to 100 and something, 106. And so my question at that point is, if you lose that game, right? Or you lose that game, the other team, like, you have to realize that if they had Tyrese Halliburton, like, you might have lost. You might not have won.
I'm gonna say
Mhm.
he's gonna be okay.
I know, but
Do you know why he's gonna be okay?
because he's a millionaire, because he's
He currently has a 5-year, starting in July 2023. He
Right.
has a 5-year, fully guaranteed contract of
But-
$244 million.
but it's not about
He's good.
it's not about the money, though, man. You should, when he got hurt, he immediately is slamming on the ground, smacking on the
Oh,
ground.
yeah.
Like, he's so pissed himself.
it's competitive.
You were like, if you're an NBA player, you are crazy competitive. It's
I
not
get it.
about the money at that point. It's not.
It's not about the money, but when he goes back and
I understand that, but it's greatness, man.
I get it.
At that point, you're making so much money.
I mean, you're competitive still. It's like
Great.
it-
He'll never be the same. He'll never play the same.
And most people that play sports at any level are going to be competitive. It's the same reason why you don't play basketball anymore with us,
Yeah, no.
because you don't want to get hurt.
Yeah, and I'm competitive.
And
I know gonna be an idiot.
I'm telling him, dude, just play and just don't play hard.
That's
Just play,
impossible.
and it's impossible.
I
It's
can't
the
do
same.
that. I
Yeah.
can't play. But
Yeah.
so
Same thing.
in
I
that
get it.
situation, as the winners at OKC, Luke, if you were in OKC's shoes,
Okay.
you take your trophy.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like,
What
do
am I
you in
doing?
your head, do you realize if they had Tyrese Halliburton, they could have won? And
Dude, that's part of the game, bro. Injuries are part of the game. I don't
Absolutely.
care. I don't care.
so some cultures, like Asian cultures,
Yeah.
it's more dishonorable to take that victory.
Hell no.
But that's not American. But
No,
it's
dude.
more dishonorable to take that victory than it would be to lose,
Dude.
because you let your enemy power up
This
to full
ain't the-
power, and then
yeah.
you go head to head
This
with them.
ain't the freaking samurai stuff. No.
Yeah.
No.
So you pause it until they heal up, and then you play the game.
Yeah.
at
So
full
like in
set.
anime, like they're
Hell
fighting, right? You're like a 1v1 karate fight or whatever. You let your enemy, no, you let your opponent, not your enemy. You have respect for them because you understand that this team that you're playing against is the other team that's the best in the world against you. And it wouldn't be a fair fight if
So-
they're down their best player.
that's like
Because
like
that is
that's
not
like
the
in the
same.
movie. That's like in the movies where you like de-sword somebody. You like
Yeah.
knock
Yeah.
the sword. You like kick it back
Yeah.
to him so they have it. so
You
can
don't
beat him
you
in a
don't
fair
stand
fight.
yeah, you
Hell
don't stab a man in the back.
No.
You
Hell
don't
no.
yeah.
There
There is honor in winning
Right.
the correct
Hell
way.
no.
And OKC, I will say, will forever have an asterisk by their name, because you'll say, okay, in 2025
Dude.
they beat the Pacers, but Tyrese Halliburton got hurt, and if they had Tyrese Halliburton, we might not have won. So forever, when people talk about it, they'll say, well, we don't know what could have happened. And the Asian culture would say, that's not, I want people to say I was the best because I was the best.
Well, in his analogy with the samurai, after you kick the dude's sword back to him, then
Yeah.
he comes back and slices you,
Yeah.
and you're like, now I'm dead when I had him on the ropes. Like, the regret goes
Now-
both ways.
But he's if I let him power up to full power, it's full power versus full power, and he beats me, he's the better man.
Well,
But-
it's more honorable, but
Yeah.
still, he's still
Right.
dead when he
Correct.
should be.
That's not right,
Correct.
because you don't know who didn't get into the playoffs, who had injuries.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Cavs had people hurt when they were losing games.
Right.
Like that's not the injury. It sucks. It sucks. That
But you played 6 of the 7 games with Tyrese Halliburton going into game 7.
right.
Tyrese gets hurt. People are always going to talk about that forever.
Yeah.
That if Tyrese was full power, would they have won? They could have. He had 9 of 16 points.
They probably
so far.
would have, but again, it's all part of the sports.
Yeah.
It's just like the Browns when Nick Chubb went down. They've been terrible. You know what I mean? Like it's just all
Billy Lute,
No, it's a strong-
strong words from Indiana Jones, who famously brought
Oh,
a
that's-
gun to a sword fight. Yeah, exactly.
That's
Billy.
do you know why they did that scene?
He did. He ad-libbed it, didn't he?
No,
He was sick. Like
Oh, was
deathly
he?
sick.
I didn't
He
know
was
that.
like flu influenza, and he was supposed to have a big sword fight scene.
Yeah.
and he just pulled his gun out, and, like just shot
Really?
him. It's amazing.
That's
It's awesome.
It's a classic scene, though.
Indiana
Like,
Jones.
Classic scene. Guys like,
What's the quote? The quote is, "It's not the age, it's the mileage, honey. It's not my age. It's the mileage, honey."
Just keep
Isn't he-
trying. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Just keep
Indiana
trying.
Jones
No,
quote.
don't
Indiana
chat.
Jones
No, just
quote.
keep trying. I want to hear you say it.
Indiana Jones quote about
What's that?
mileage.
She works over at clothing company.
Strong words for the yeah. We're drawing a comparison between.
It's not the years, honey. It's the mileage. You don't remember that quote?
That's a terrible quote. That's
I
not
have
one of the
no
best.
idea. Like, dude, I've seen Indiana Jones 1,000 times.
You don't remember that quote?
Does anybody remember
Watch
that quote
Indiana
from
Jones.
Indiana Jones?
Billy, do you remember that quote from Indiana Jones? Help me out here. Billy, call in. I want to talk to you.
Which Indiana Jones is it?
I forget. The one with the
Probably
blonde,
the crystal
blonde
skull that
chick.
nobody watched.
No,
It
it's
was
not
terrible.
Temple of the
Doom.
old one. I think it's the blonde
Temple of
lady. I think so.
Yeah, Temple of Doom.
We're gonna look up the quote. Look up the quote.
I
Don't believe
It's
me.
just not a good quote. It didn't add much to the scene. Like a little
didn't?
smug Indiana Jones
Yeah.
saying I'm old, but I
you
still
should've
got,
said that
got
when
it
he-
in me.
You should have said that.
She said you should be doing whatever. You're young. He's like, it's not about the years, it's the mileage. Like he's been all over the world being an archaeologist and doing cool shit with his cool hat. And you know what? He probably had it strapped up the whole time too, because he was nervous about the win.
Should have used that quote when you talked to Mike Rowan today.
I should have.
Next time.
And Mike Cohen would be like, dude, Indiana Jones will love
Indiana
that.
Jones. I love Indiana Jones. I'm definitely gonna chop the roof off the mall and make it and put glass on it.
I have that quote in my boardroom.
You are so. You know what? I relate to you. I'm gonna take your idea and I'm gonna run with it and give you no credit.
I have that. I use that quote all the time in the board. No one ever gets it. Oh my god, you're so smart.
You're so
Now
awesome.
the mall's going to have a rolling boulder scene
Listen,
in the middle of the
He's
park.
like, I'm definitely gonna pay my taxes on time. Come August, I'm definitely gonna pay my taxes on time.
Ugh.
Super excited for when he doesn't pay his taxes on time or he pays them on time, and we take credit both ways.
He's the,
Listen, boys, it's a win-win for us.
he is literally
It's a win-win.
right now in the boardroom. He is literally in the boardroom right
Joe!
now. Like,
Joe Midlick, he told me to say it yesterday. He told me to say that. He sent me that
did
quote.
you just steal that off of
Yeah,
Joe?
totally stole that quote from Joe. Joe Midlick sent it to me.
And you're giving Mike you stole something, Joe. I apologize.
Joe definitely sent me that while I was walking yesterday, and I said I felt like Indiana Jones, and he's like, it's not the years, it's the mileage.
Yeah, Joe, that's a brilliant quote. It totally added to the scene.
It totally works and makes a ton of sense.
It does. It's awesome.
From one Joe to another.
Super,
Loves that quote.
super smart. I'm just telling you, I'm a super nerd, and I have no idea what he says in any of those moves. I have no idea, and I've seen those moves.
It's not the years, honey, it's the mileage.
1,000 times. I have no idea. Wow. What else are we talking about?
Okay. So we're talking about the Middle East. Joe,
Yes.
why didn't we just mind our business? Why didn't we do what our mamas told us and mind our business?
We just don't know how to do it. There's just so much money to be made in war.
I feel like Israel.
That's what it is.
Yeah, totally.
That's what it is.
There are people that have so many, just like the stock market people. They're waiting for an opportunity to pull the
What?
trigger to make a bunch of money and accumulate power by using war.
At what point is Israel like you're going out in college, right? You're going out to the bar with your friends. And Israel like is your one buddy that you always bring along, and you're like, oh, he's totally gonna get into a fight. And then it's like, I don't want to go out with so and so anymore because he always gets into fights.
Yes.
Like, at what point do we say, okay, this dude's like trigger happy, and I'm not going to the bar with you anymore because all you want to do is fight? Until you can calm down and settle the hell down, I don't want to be your friend anymore. I feel like that's the situation we're in.
But in that situation, you can escape and not be in those environments where when you have countries, if they do the wrong thing, you're going to pay consequences even if you weren't involved. So would you rather at least be involved and have a say in it, or be a victim of it when it goes south?
So the other night when Trump had his speech and they were like, hey, we bomb nuclear facilities. Excuse me. Were you happy about that?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, part of me said, okay, well, I don't trust the fact that if that's the last thing that they have to do, that they're just going to gracefully bow out and there'll be a ceasefire and everybody sing kumbaya. So that was the danger in it. So my hope is that was the last step, and I'll suck it up and tolerate it.
Part of me, right? Part of me is like, mind your business. We shouldn't have anything to do with this. Like, Israel and Iran can handle their own stuff. We should have gone to the European countries and been like, hey, guys, what do you want to do about Iran? They have nuclear warheads or whatever. We think they do. Do you guys want to all fly in and bomb these people and be on this on the same team here? Or do you want to just sit it out and wait?
That's not Trump or the administration. They are isolists or isolationists. They don't. I mean, they
don't want to be a part of the.
That's been the whole thing. It's
because
US or bust, man. You know what I mean? That's how they've been the whole time.
Yeah, but when it comes to like, hey, we're gonna bomb people, they have nuclear missiles. We got to all be on the same page here. And then if you guys fly with us, we'll do it. But if we're just going by ourselves, we become the target. And I feel like a lot of countries are okay with us being the target, as always. So. Part of me wants to just mind my business and sit back and be like, okay, Israel, figure it out. The other part of me wants to play fortunate son. And
sorry, go ahead.
Part of me wants to play fortunate son as they're saying death to America and just load up the damn chopper and go bomb the living shit out of them.
Like, I'm looking at the stock market.
Yeah.
Not to change your thing.
Yeah.
But so it immediately drops right away, but then it rebounds and goes higher when there's talk of a ceasefire.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's so oil prices dipped. Oil prices dropped with the cease. Like it's not the initial bombing and stuff. It's the ceasefires, because it's like, hey, everything's great, and then everything the market goes up and gas prices go down. What? But why? But so here's my thing. I was thinking about this last night when I was talking. First off, we'll talk about if we would survive a nuclear bomb.
That's going to be a fun one.
That's going to be a fun one because my God, I did some research on it. Oh, here we'll talk about that. But why? Like, I kept asking, why did we go and do it? Why did we go and bomb the shit out of their nuclear thing? Like, what are they a threat to us? That was my first thought. Are they a threat? Is Iran a threat to us personally?
If they get a usable nuclear bomb, which they suggested they can do 14 of them, they had enough material to refine to do it, then yes, Iran would absolutely run it through a proxy and hit its enemies.
So
but it wouldn't hit us.
It wouldn't hit.
It could.
It's not an I saw the map.
No. But you take a small nuclear weapon, you put it in a suitcase, you hand it off to somebody in the United States, and they deliver a nuclear weapon to New York City through their what do they say? Their cells within the United States. The terror cells.
Which the hey, we should let immigrants into the country all the time. Those people got real quiet once Iran said, hey, we have splinter cells coming into the United States.
Right.
There was this show.
They got real quiet.
There's a show on TV right now on that Angel Network, and that's how they did it. It's a nuclear fallout thing, and the Middle Eastern countries smuggle in bombs
and then light them up,
one on like the west coast, one in DC, and one all at the same time in the middle, and then just they explode it. They explode them all at the same time, and then they're like, okay, and then the fallout happens, right? Where they hit they're able to fallout's able to clear it, and it's like a dirty bomb. It's not like a clean bomb like that. So
Krista says it's a show of military might. We have the bunker busters, so don't threaten us with nuclear war. Cough, cough, Russia. Now, this wasn't done privately enough because Iranians supposedly moved a portion of the stockpile. So here's the other thing. Like, if other countries that are our real enemies, like Russia and China, have these bombs, who's to say they don't just give it to Iran and say, hey, Iran, here's the bomb. Just go to the United States, put it in a suitcase, and blow the living shit out of America.
Because if they do that, then we're going to counterfight and everybody.
Yeah,
loses.
assured destruction, right?
Assured destruction of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody who holds nuclear weapons has to show phenomenal amount of restraint because they're powerful and they destroy everything. They hit us, we hit them. Now it's all over.
Or Iran nukes us, we nuke Iran.
Yeah, it's just back and forth.
Right, exactly. So
Stop
Why did you
stopping
lock the
Isaac
door on
at the
Isaac?
door. What up, Isaac? Hey, check out the hat, Isaac. Thank you.
kind of like
It's
his
a little warm. You stay cool out there.
How are you staying cool walking around? You dying?
No, I just drink a lot of Gatorade water.
Yeah.
You gotta be dying.
And I got air conditioning in the truck.
Okay.
You can stay cool, man. That's brutal.
Yeah, man, it's tough.
Brutal.
All right, have a good one.
Have a good one.
Yeah, I just like I said, it's assured destruction, like Joe said. One nuke goes off, dude. So
And the sad thing is, if they'll never nuke us, like we'd probably be all right, especially out by me. We'd be okay. But the problem is the bombs wouldn't get you. The nuclear fallout would.
we'll talk about that. We're gonna
Yeah.
save that for the 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, we're gonna talk about what happens because, dude, it is. I was reading it. We're so. I mean,
Yeah, everybody's fucked. Yeah.
I have it saved. It's so bad.
Yeah.
You're so screwed. You are so screwed. What else?
So hosed.
So-
But I just don't. At what point do we realize that Israel is the guy that you went out with in college that constantly got into fights?
Israel
Is the guy in college that you would go out with that's like, let's get into a fight. And you're like, no, dude, we're not fighting tonight. And it's like, no, we're done. I'm done taking care of you. I am done fighting.
No, see, I disagree with that.
You don't think it, why are we protecting Israel? Everybody's
Because-
like, oh, they're our ally. They are getting into fights and flexing their muscles all the time.
Why
I'm
are they
done.
getting into fights? You know why they're getting into the fights? Because it's like
Joe, you're so rude. I can't stand you.
you're
Sorry.
bringing
I'm just
like
kidding.
you can't say that because
Why?
it's like I'm trying to think of a comparison. Like you're not bringing this big bully into a bar
Okay.
and then he's causing fights.
Okay.
You're bringing, you know what? It's a comparison. You're bringing a nerd into the football locker room. Hold on.
No, okay.
All right. And then the nerd is surrounded by meathead football players that want to beat this guy up.
Okay.
Okay. And are you just going to let him get beat up or are you going to help him?
That's not the case at all.
It's 100% the
No,
case.
it's not. They have an Iron Dome. They have more military
Well,
might, and they
he's
kick the
super
living
smart.
shit out of
He's
Iran.
super smart.
Wait, it's the nerd. It's the nerd that's super smart that started
Dude,
lifting. That the
who is surrounding-
football player started
Name
teaching him to
every
lift,
country-
and now he's really strong. And he's like, "Yeah, come at
Name
me."
every country around Israel.
No, what do you mean? Name every country around
So
it.
his point is that they are surrounded by
They're
countries
surrounded
that
by
say
hostile countries
they
that want to
say
blow them off
death
the
to
map.
Israel and Israel needs to be blown off the map. So the threat.
So it's not Israel's picking fights with everybody. They want to kill and destroy them.
Okay, why are we the only one that has to back him up?
We're not the only one. That's not
In
true
other
either.
countries that Iran was firing shots at, and at our military bases in those countries have said this is wrong. They shouldn't be doing this. Get out of the airspace. It's not right. Like Iran isn't exactly loved by everybody else in the Middle East, if I'm not mistaken, right?
But they have allies, though.
Okay,
They have
but
a
like
lot
there
of
are other countries that are like, hey, like Qatar is like, hey, don't. This is wrong.
Yeah, but there are also countries saying it's right. I'm saying like Iran is not a nice place, right? Let's be honest.
Iran is
Okay?
not a nice place.
However, if you look, there are other countries in Europe that support Israel.
Okay.
There are other countries in like all over the United States or all over the world that support Israel.
Right.
It's not just us that support Israel.
Okay.
Okay. So you have to look at it that way.
Yep.
But for you to say it's Israel just picking fights to pick fights is not true.
I'm not saying they're just picking fights to pick fights, but I don't think they're the innocent little dork that's just getting picked on by everybody. I think they're very smart and they have a lot of military might. And I think as history unfolds and we move forward, we're getting into a mess that we should not be a part of. And I don't think they're just sitting around like, oh, everything's great, and we're not, we're just trying to keep our little area, and they're still bombing civilians in Gaza. Like, I don't think they are the good guys that the far right is trying to make them out to be, because it's not
I
black
don't
and
think
white.
they're the good guys. I don't think they're the good guys either, but I do think they have every right to protect their people, though. However,
I said the nerd has a gun.
the
Nerd's been lifting with the football player for a while, and now he's bigger and he's trying to throw his weight around.
They do have a right to defend themselves and their people, and if there's a threat, right? Because you're working like those. You have to understand. It's not like those countries, okay?
Yes.
Iran,
Okay.
those governments,
Okay.
want to blow them off of the map
Okay.
for religious-based reasons.
Okay.
Do you understand that? Like, it's not
Iran has nuclear weapons, and Israel's telling the United States, hey, they have nuclear weapons. Israel, handle your business then.
I agree. No, I agree with that.
I don't
agree with
want, if you think they're the bad guys, you handle their business, but I am not responsible for you when you go get into a fight and blow up their military bases and then come crying back to me. Like, this is the perfect example. Like, it's a little brother and a big brother.
I agree.
Hey, big bro, come help me. Dude, be smart.
I agree with that. We shouldn't have went in there and bombed. I'm not
No,
saying
because
that.
we directly get involved.
If Israel doesn't have the munitions to take out something that's buried underground, and they needed the one thing that we're the only country that has, do you suggest like lending Israel and let them use those munitions? Give them a B2?
No. Put ground troops on and go find, if that's what you want to do. But no,
Or
I'm
we
not
just
giving you our
shuffle them
shit.
to here you go. Here's
Yeah.
that. Here.
Because what?
Go ahead
What?
and paint
Now there's
the Israeli flag on this airplane and this bomb. Go ahead.
Now-
Go ahead.
The
Drop
keys
it.
are in it.
Now there's rumors.
Go ahead. Go get it.
Now there's rumors they moved the bombs or the nukes, and like what we did was for nothing. All we did was get involved more than we should be. Like, it's just, we have our own problems to handle here. That's why Trump was elected. We have our own problems here. You're going to end wars, not start more. We have our own issues with the border here. We have our own issues with inflation. Like, stop being the big brother. Stop being the global police and just chill. That's what I want to focus on. Like, it's just the classic mom saying of mind your own business and focus on you. That's what I want to do.
All right, so let me paint the rest of the picture.
All sides of it.
So their uranium was at 60% pure. Needs to get about 90+% in order to be weaponizable, if that's a freaking word.
Okay.
And so they're using nuclear sites under the guise of producing electricity for the citizens of Iran, right? They are an oil-rich country. They do not need nuclear energy. They have tons of resources that are non-nuclear. So if they build these things, they're using the nuclear facilities to keep enriching those things.
Yeah.
We bomb the nuclear sites and get rid of the ability to take that 60 and go to get it to 90. Now they're paused until they rebuild those sites. They can't enrich it any further.
Okay.
So if we did that part.
At what cost, though? We pause them from getting military capabilities to blow up other people. At what costs are we creating more enemies and pissing off Iran even more now because we're directly involved in the conflict? They were saying death to America before, and now they're like, these guys, like, look at us. Look at us. We're the victims here. The United States is bombing us, and they can say that to the rest of the world. It's not worth it. Israel, if you're worried about them nuking you, you have plenty of military capability. Why don't you juice up your defenses or something to stop them from bombing? And then the second they try and light off a nuke, the rest of the world can be like, Iran, why are you doing that? Stop it.
Is it weird that I think if Iran and some of those other countries, if they had the capabilities to nuke us, they would?
Yeah.
See, I don't believe that any of this is authentic. I think this is so much theater and posturing.
You don't think they have a nuke?
Well, I think they're a very poor, not well-run country.
Not at all.
Right.
So the threat of having one is more powerful than actually using it and having one.
Right.
So if they can posture themselves as if they're a danger, like what else are they going to do? They don't have a supreme military force. They don't have a bunch of money.
Hey, I got a
if
nuke.
they're like, I got the nuke, pay me off, right? So I don't use it.
Right.
So, I'm thinking that, they needed to save face behind in the boardroom when no one's watching.
Right.
They're like, we're going to take your stuff out, move the nuclear material out. Then you can look, bold in front of your neighbors so you don't get taken over by Iraq or Afghanistan or whatever.
Yeah, right. Did you hold on real fast? Did you ever hear this?
What is it?
Joe said about this, like, about peaceful things. Did you ever watch The Dictator? Hold on. Where's it at? Where's it?
Don't play more than 10 seconds of this, or we'll
really?
get killed. Yep.
Anyways, all right.
This is what he said.
He's basically said he's like I am here to tell you we have nuclear power, and it's just for it. He's like, and he starts giving peaceful reasons.
Right,
You will have
exactly.
electricity. It's so funny.
Yeah, so I don't believe in all of the horse shit. I think it's mostly posturing.
And it's just for them. Like, there was the map of Iran can nuke the people in this circle, right? That's the people who should worry about Iran having nuclear capability. Okay. And then, not like we get involved when the rest of the world comes to us and says, hey, big dog, we are coming up with ideas. Do you want to be a part of what, to stop Iran from, they have nuclear weapons at this point. And we just, until then, we just juice up our defenses and make sure that they have no way of blowing up any of our stuff. And we can take nukes out of the sky and we can like protect ourselves.
Right.
Like the freaking Wakanda
Right. Just
idea.
Isolated
just
thing.
isolate ourselves. And then when the rest of the world's like, hey, we need your help doing whatever, then we step up. Or until Mexico gets nukes and says they're going to shoot, then we worry about ourselves.
Freaking Canada.
We're just creating more enemies in the Middle East and giving all the rest of the world more reason to say, oh, these guys are just bullies. That's all we're doing.
I hate to tell you this, but the Middle East hasn't liked us for a very long time. It's
I know,
nothing new.
but we're lighting more fires. We're lighting more fires in order to get them more pissed at us.
Dude.
All right, so the closest related one is North Korea. And we can make this prediction, like within the next 2 years, Kim Jong-un or whoever he is going to say, we're so close to a nuclear weapon.
Yeah.
And then what happens is poor country, South Korea can whip them in 2 seconds. They threaten and say that they're close to a nuclear weapon. The United States swoops in, pays them a bunch of money, and then they stop the development for a little while, which then conditions them that if they want money, all they got to do is pretend to be close to nuclear weapons, and we pay them off.
Scott says, didn't we make a treaty 50 years ago? I don't know about this, that 5 countries would only have nukes.
No, I don't think so. There's many more than 55 countries that have them.
Looking,
why don't we have a major debt issue? Why don't we structure ourselves in a way that, hey, Israel, hey, European countries, hey, Asian countries, you want us to protect you? You want us to take out North Korea's military might? Pay us. We have a debt problem. That's what we need to focus on right now. If you want us to be allies and you've gotten like 5 other countries that are all on the same page and we're all going to go take out North Korea, their military might, we're not going to kill innocent civilians, but we have a debt problem. So you come up with this amount of money, we'll come to your rescue. But it's your problem. It's not our problem. And the only reason we're stepping up is because you need our help.
Scott's right. Nuclear proliferation treaty. Well, I killed that one. 191 countries signed it in 1968. Stop the spread of nuclear weapons, promote peaceful uses of nuclear energy, eventually eliminate all nuclear weapons. The 5, wait, can you guess which 5?
United States, China, Russia, Pakistan. Maybe not Pakistan.
Nope.
I
think 1968.
Great Britain.
Yep.
Great Britain.
And you're missing one, which is weird. I would never guess this one.
Saudi Arabia.
Nope. France.
All right. Makes sense.
Countries that have nukes and aren't in it and have them anyways. India, Pakistan, Israel, which is undeclared and they've never admitted they have them.
Right.
North Korea, supposedly. Right.
They said France.
They said France, yeah. So, I mean, that's the whole thing. Just stop the spread and punish for disarmament. But do you think other countries have it and just don't say anything?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure, right? I mean, they have to.
Yeah, if your neighbor has it, you, by God, want to have it too.
I swear to God, the only reason in that treaty France has it is because of the history of hating each other that Britain and France have for fighting forever.
It's deep.
We're talking Middle Ages stuff. Yeah, right.
So, like, I think we seriously need to take a step, and we're too deep now. We're already in it. They already hate us, and forever. The Middle East obviously holds grudges because they've been fighting for freaking ever. But now it's, hey, you bombed us at this time, and we have a right to bomb you in the future sometime. And it's just putting us in a predicament. We need to take a step back and handle our debt issue, and we can use our biggest boy on the block attitude to pay back our debt if we become bounty hunters for the rest of the world. And say, hey, you have North Korea as an issue. Why don't you all pay us? And we'll protect you.
Yeah, some of those other countries don't have our debt problem because they know if they get in trouble, they're just going to call the United States and we'll flip the bill.
We're going to invoice you now.
Yeah, exactly.
Freaking invoice.
100%. Yeah. Then you can build your own military, so you don't have to, pay our inflated rate.
If not, that's not our problem.
That's right.
If that's not our problem. And if it's a big enough issue, we will come to the rescue if we have to.
If it affects us.
Yep. But we need to focus on us. We have our own issues. We have border problems. We have people sneaking in the United States. And who's to say if people are sneaking in the United States, Iran can have their splinter cells or whatever they're calling them that will sneak in and blow up one of our cities with a nuke. That's what we need to focus on.
Yep.
Our people.
Yep.
Sorry.
Well said. Like, I agreed with you on much of what you said today.
Like, it's so frustrating. I'm over it.
Except for the
Indiana Jones quote.
Indiana Jones quote and the roof on the mall.
Oh, definitely not the mall. Definitely not the
While
mall.
talking to the CEO.
Listen. Next time we call,
yes,
you guys can each have your turn.
All right. Yes. Float it over to us. I want to make
Friday,
a
What would you have done, John?
On Friday,
What?
Joe
What would you
goes.
have
I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll come up with a plan that's
But he didn't
executable.
have time to think about
Oh,
it.
I know. That's why I
let's
asked
throw it on
him
the
if
spot.
he was sitting on that one for a while.
Yeah.
Because if he made it up on the fly, then I would totally grant him that he pulled that one out of his ass. Because
I would have went with. We'd like to schedule you for a interview.
that would
That's what
have been a
We
good
could have been
question.
like, listen, big fan of California Pizza Kitchen. Can we put one of those in the mall?
Anchor stores. He needs anchor stores.
I would have went.
Anchor
with
stores, the
interview.
big J.C. Penney, Sears, the big stores
It
at the
hasn't
malls.
worked. That hasn't worked.
I would have went with the interview, and then he would have not shown up like they did WFMJ, and that would have gave us an excuse to harass
What
him.
you need-
That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
'Cause
You
then-
need to flip flop from the stores, the anchor stores
just went
on the
from
corners
nukes to the mall.
Yeah, we're
back to the
back
mall.
to the mall.
You
Nuclear.
like that.
What you need
Boom.
is things to do in stores that require you to try stuff on. Like the big overhead JCPenney's, Macy's, Dillard's at the corner, like that was their business model. It was I think we have the first mall. Did you know that?
Yeah.
The Southern Park Mall is the first mall to think of the concept of an interior building with on the four corners, you have Macy's, Dillard's, JCPenney's, and what's the other one? Sears. Okay. So the four corners, and then you put little stores in between them. We had the first concept. You need to change that now because everybody's buying stuff online, and those stores can't survive because of the overhead and inventory. You need things to do.
You need
So
pool.
You need giant, like it would be cool stuff that people would come out for. Like,
what do people go out for?
what would be sick is like if you did one of those stores, you made it like a virtual reality thing with like you're in a haunted house and you're shooting like
They
you're playing
had that.
zombies.
It failed.
Where?
They had it in the mall. There was a virtual reality store in the mall.
There wasn't. It failed.
It failed.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Never mind.
the anchor stores bring out the bulk of people, and when they're there, then the other stores get that.
Right,
so
but
you need
everybody's
a
buying stuff
big
online, so
draw.
you need
Fine,
things
a
to
big
do.
draw.
Yeah.
A big
Anchor
draw.
stores around here, Target, TJ Maxx, Home Depot, those would be the stores.
Yes.
Yeah. So like you need to go to Home Depot because you need to measure stuff. You need to, you know what I mean?
Right.
You need to go to Target because of decor and the fun stuff you might run into. TJ Maxx.
But the problem is,
The Eastwood Mall does a much better job.
And they have
Yeah.
Boscov's.
and the Eastwood Mall has way more around it too. Like you have the mall itself, but then you have all this other stuff.
Right,
Like,
right.
The Home Depot's right next to it. There's a lot, you know what I mean? There's
Right,
Walmart's right,
right.
there. All that stuff is
What
a
else
freaking
would be-
hotel. Like,
hotel, right? The baseball field. They have
Right.
all that stuff
Yes.
right
What
there.
would be
Bass Pro
sweet-
Shop. I mean, there's all that stuff.
The
There's-
only reason I'm saying, like, I know it sounds ridiculous, but chopping the roof off and putting because it would be a place to go in the wintertime when it's cold and it feels like summer. You can walk it. It'd be like a greenhouse. You could walk it. You could put restaurants with like patios in it so that you feel like you're outside. And you literally do like a $5 a month subscription. And then people can go to the mall. They can walk. They can go to these cool places in there. They can eat and they can feel warm. It'll be like 80 degrees in there or something. Like a
Lazy
greenhouse.
River Ride.
What?
Lazy River Ride when you lazy river ride.
Whatever, but it's like something
bar.
to do
Gotta have a
because
bar.
it becomes a freaking tundra in the wintertime and everybody wants to freaking kill themselves because it's so miserable around here. And there's nothing to do. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about.
Here we go.
God
The other
in
thing.
heaven.
Do you guys hear what's happening at Target and Boardman?
Yes.
The kids keep.
Yes, I was there. I was there
You
for
were
one of
there?
them.
You witnessed it.
Yes.
What were they doing?
happened?
Were
Yeah.
they throwing bags of Skittles?
So they all line up.
It's a skittle.
They all line up in the parking lot. So there's
Yeah.
a bunch of kids outside.
Hell yes.
How old?
They're probably late high schoolers.
I
Like,
want you guys to know I was this child. I'm gonna say it right now. Like I see these posts, I'm like, good for them. Like there's nothing to do with
So-
it.
so they're outside, but then they go inside the store and they
Okay.
torment the aisles, the employees, the shoppers. So I walk in there and I'm like, there's like
vandalism. Vandalism, baby.
There-
I was a little vandal.
there's
I
like
was
3 security guards standing there. I was like, what the heck is going on here?
getting ready
and-
to go to war.
And so I'm walking down the aisles and there's kids on like scooters just going down the road. Somebody's hijacked the motorized wheelchairs. Like they're just everywhere doing crazy
Is there
shit.
a ton of them?
Ton of them.
How
They're
many?
everywhere.
How many?
I would say 50 kids running around Target.
Let's go, kids.
And they're being rude to customers too.
They're just messing around. They're like getting in and out of stuff, moving stuff around, trying clothes on right over top of their clothes. Like it is chaos.
I'd be laughing.
And there's
Chaos.
just not enough. Like the police presence, they can't do anything about it. There's too many of them. It's like a riot.
Yeah, and they're not really stealing. I'm sure some of them are, but the main thing is they're just causing chaos.
What? Did anyone get arrested or anything?
A couple kids dropped their drawers in front of customers.
So
But they
Yeah.
were wearing underwear.
But
it
they
wasn't.
were.
It
So the
wasn't
cops
raw.
come, the cops
PP.
come.
They did. And they kick
and
them
arrest
out.
Kick them out. They can't arrest them, right? They can.
The ones that are stealing and dropping their drawers, I'm sure, got arrested. but
See, like what we used to do back in the day when we were bored, you'd go to Sheetz, you'd hang out at Sheetz for a while and be like, okay, we're gonna go to Walmart, we're gonna go to Target.
Yeah.
You hook up to the Bluetooth speakers and you and you play porn. That's what you do.
you are a bad person,
Wait,
Isaac.
Bluetooth speakers in the store?
In the back of the store and you play gay porn.
You can hook up to the speakers.
Yeah, you could back in the day. And we play gay porn and just like, oh my god. Yeah, it was so awesome. And then we'd be like, the guy in the tech center would be like, and then they'd like freak out, and the people, please go back to the tech center and fix the speaker. It's just like, oh my god. Yeah, dude, there's nothing to do around here. There's nothing for kids to do around
We
here.
went to Cedar Point, and I got a photo drop. You know how people like drop things to your phone, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my god! Like while I'm in line, I'm like, I am not opening this up.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, who knows
Yeah.
what?
Or
it
you
is.
go in the one they still do videos of this.
Yeah.
You go in the one corner of the store and you moan as loud as you can. You let out a moan as loud as you can. The security guy goes all the way back to that corner. And then you have another buddy go in the other corner of the store, and the security guy's talking to him like, "Hey, you can't be." He's like, "What are you talking about, dude? It wasn't me." And then the kid in the other corner of the store moans. He's like, "See, it's not me." And then they go back to the other corner, and then you have the kid, and you just, there's nothing to do for these kids.
So
All
here's
right. So hold on. Next time you have our guy on the phone
Yeah.
and you making your pitch for the Southern Park Mall,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to pitch something for the Target kids.
the Target.
What
kids.
they're not going to come and walk their dogs and enjoy your bright sunshine and smell the roses.
But
They want to break some shit.
keeps out the riffraff because there's a monthly subscription of $5 per month.
No, we want
that
the
you gotta
Target.
scan in
We
on.
want the Target kids to have something to do, so they're not tormenting Target shoppers. Bring
This
them
is
to
a
your
different-
mall.
This is a different thing. This is a different thing. This is a different target market. It's different.
You don't want them to bring in
I don't
your
want 'em to-
nice green space,
See,
right?
this is why people would 100% pay for it, and there's got to be a way to keep it up and keep it nice because it's going to be expensive. You know what I mean? It's going to be expensive to operate a greenhouse. You know what I mean? And have nice restaurants and everything. So you got to pay the subscription. You want a place to go. People will pay for that. They'll be pissed at first. I'm not paying $5. You will pay for that because it's 80 degrees. It's nice. And
Is
it feels
wrong?
like summer.
I just think people don't want to go out anymore. People don't want to go in public.
Be around other people, especially.
People just don't want to be around. I know
No.
I don't.
No.
I hate it. I
And like, let me just say, I don't think it's right that kids are destroying Target. Like I was a little shit. I was an idiot.
Kids are kids.
But like kids are kids and they're bored out of their freaking minds. And I'm happy that they're not inside playing video games and they're actually hanging out and being social because this is what COVID did to them. They were inside. These were the freaking kids in 3rd grade and inside. And now they found out that they can go to a store and they can vandalize a store and sort of kind of get in trouble, but not really. Like, I don't blame them one bit.
I was talking to a family. I was talking to our uncle about this. And he said his mailbox got smashed. Like kids drove by and smashed it with a mailbox. And he was standing out there looking at his destroyed mailbox. And he's like, God, the first thing in his head was like, man, freaking kids. And then it popped in his head that he used to do it all the time. Yeah. And then he started fixing it. He's like, I'm proud of these kids. Right. he's like, it popped in his head. And then he's like, this was a really good job, actually. He's like, I don't know what they hit it with, but man, they hit it hard. Right. You know what I mean? So he wasn't even mad. And that's how I am too. Right. It's with my boys. They do something bad. Yeah. Like, not bad, but they do something mischievous like that. Yeah. My first reaction is, you're freaking stupid. And then the next reaction is, I would have done it like
because
this, so you don't get caught. You're like, why are you so stupid? How did you get caught? Like, you're so dumb.
Next time you're gonna execute better and you're gonna do this instead.
Right.
Like, this is what I would have done. Your execution was poor. Here's the mistake I made back in the day. Right. This is what you got to do.
I had the conversation with Cameron, my middle one, the other day, because he wanted to do something and he had to ask Maggie, right? Like permission to go to his buddy's house. So I'm like, he goes, he asks her, she says no, and he starts like whining and complaining, right? Walks into the other room all pissed off. Maggie's, I'm so tired of doing that. So I walk in. I go talk to Cameron in the other room. Maggie goes outside. I'm like, dude. It's like, what? He's like, I just want to go to my friend's house. Your presentation is freaking terrible.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't just, I was like, he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you have to freaking play the game a little.
Yeah. Totally.
I'm like, you have to sell. I'm like, you have to go in there and be like, Mom, I have to go to my friend's house because they're doing this. Right. And the mom wants me to go help him do this. Yeah. And this is why. And he's like, oh. And then I'm like, if she says no, don't act like that.
You got to play the game, Cam. Yeah. Well, what I learned as a younger sibling that had an older sibling that was an absolute train wreck.
Not me, by the way. I mean, I'm a train wreck, but
not train wreck, but just not good making decisions. So she would do that, right? You piss off mom and then you whine and complain. You gotta pamper, man. Like, hey mom, I just took out the trash. I just swept this. I cleaned my room. I did A, B, C, and D. Look at all these good things I did. And then you wait like 10 minutes. Hey mom, you mind if I go to my friend's house? And then she has to think about all the good things you did. And then if she says no, you can say, but I just cleaned my room and did all this nice thing for you. I made you dinner.
So why did you start off with cutting the roof off the mall? If you have this kind of finesse where you wanted to get a yes out of him, cutting off the roof was not a good entry point.
Listen, Joe.
Not good.
Listen, Joe.
Yes.
I've said it before. I didn't know the guy was going to pick up the phone, and I was rolling with it.
All right.
Next time you get the millionaire on the phone on Friday, you can have your discussion with him.
I'm just amazed you went with that.
Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Sorry for trying.
Kristen just said, wait, Luke, you teach your boys. Yes, those are life skills. Kids, don't you think? I mean, that's a life skill.
You apply it to mom now, you apply it to the multimillionaire in the future.
Exactly.
When you're on your feet.
Trained better, this might have been better. I failed as a big brother. If I would have trained him better, it would have been fine.
I made sure to get my point across. That guy's at least going to go, who the hell was that? Who the hell was that? He said he was Isaac from the MLO Bros, and he probably
do you think he's Googling or doesn't even care?
No, I think he was well aware of you guys and what you do, whatever before today. Absolutely.
So? No.
You mentioned him before. You made some waves already. So I think he knows who you are already.
All right.
Well, let's see. If he doesn't know, he will know.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna call him every Tuesday and Friday until the end of time.
Okay. And then I'm gonna get a cease and desist order to stop calling this guy
for harassing him.
It doesn't mean they're not going to send me one.
I'm not saying Isaac from Youngstown Studio. I'm saying Isaac from the MLO Bros. Send us a cease and desist order, please.
I've been surprised, by the way. We've been doing this for 5 years. We've never once got a cease and desist order.
Like, not once. And for what, though? Like, what did we do that was wrong? Like, what did I do that was wrong? No. I said we are advocates for the Youngstown area. We love the mall. And
I'm
we
not
want to pay
specifically talking about that. I'm just talking about in general. We've never gotten a cease and desist order.
Because, like, the only people we really attack are, like, governments. So I don't think
Governments can't and won't. Private entities that can take a loss because of the words you say can serve you cease and desist and get you to stop
I'm going to
talking
court and I'm being like, listen, dude, I'm trying to give you some advice. I'm not trying to hurt your business. I'm trying to help you.
Yeah, and you'll win that, but you'll still have to go through the process, and it's meant to get you to shut up because it's easier.
Because you're bullying you, yeah. Because they're trying to bully you into being quiet.
Mike, I don't want you to bully me. I want to be friends and I want to help.
Yeah.
Okay.
Government entities can't send cease and desist.
No, I don't. You can have criticism, you can make fun of, they can't shut you up.
Right, yeah. Because we've been threatened a couple times, not threatened, but we've been warned by people at like the West Branch thing. They're like, that the one school permit, she's going to come after you. I'm like, I don't think they can.
Could she say, hey, my doctor, my husband's a doctor, his doctor's office is under attack because you guys keep talking about us personally?
Man, there are exceptions when life is in danger, but still free speech trumps it. Like I can't think they cannot shut you up.
And that guy went to the meeting and said all that stupid stuff.
He said
that was
a bunch
his
of
fault.
Yeah. Now, if you outwardly claimed and incited somebody to do something, you can absolutely get shut down on that part.
If we said, hey, call the doctors, like say something to get people to attack us.
Exactly.
Yeah,
can't do that.
We can't, which we've never done. I would never do that. I would never, regardless of the disagreements we have, I would never urge them to purposely attack a private citizen. No. Our thing is always the government, right? Like I actually had, this is a good story with this Lowville thing. I think I told you the Shedgate thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had a guy call me yesterday. He blocked his number a couple times, and I don't know if you saw it. Guy called from a blocked number, didn't leave a message, and I knew it had to be about Lowville, so I made a post. You're gonna call us? Don't block your number. Don't be a freaking girl or whatever. Not girls. Girls are great. But I said,
cease and desist,
right? Don't be a freaking wuss, right? Man up, call us So then he calls back from the thing, and I had a good conversation with him. But he starts saying, I want you to know about this family you're defending. And I'm like, dude, I don't care about the family. Like, so then he obviously has a personal thing with the people who own this house, right? Saying, they're not, anyway, I'm not getting into it. And I'm like, dude, it's not about the people. It's about the government. It's about the overstep. I said, I don't care what these people do in that house, what kind of people they are, if they're, if they're good. Yeah. It is about government overstep.
Right.
Over and over and over and over.
Right. It's not, like you said, it's not about how well they take care of their property or how they run their business or whatever. You are creating a precedent so that in the future, the government can say, hey, we did this in the past and you guys were cool.
Rules.
And now they're doing it to some nice guy that everybody loves and everybody's up in arms.
Right.
They have precedent. They can say, hey, we did this in the past. It's not a problem.
Same with Canfield. Follow the rules. Same with West Branch, breaking their own rules.
Right.
Railroading that coach.
The exact same thing happened out in Salem or Greenford with the solar panels. The people didn't like that the farmer was putting solar panels on his property because they don't like that and they don't agree with it. And they don't like that the way the guy runs his business or whatever. So they're like, hey, we need to shut him down. We need to tell the government they're not allowed to have solar panels out here.
Right.
And it's like, you are giving the government more power. And you need to understand the repercussions so that when you try and go do something in the future on your property that's different, the government will say, we can take your power away because we took away the solar panels. And this is something in the exact same way.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if you're good, bad, or ugly.
Right.
You're giving them more power than they have.
It isn't personal. It isn't against the, like people are saying, you guys don't like the mayor of Lowville. I would know the mayor of Lowville if he walked in.
We had him on the podcast.
Yeah.
We had him on the pod.
Oh, we did?
Yeah. We had him a long time ago with Mayor Cat.
Oh, I don't even remember.
Yeah, we had him in our studio, in our old studio.
I don't remember that.
We met him.
Oh.
Yeah. He's an Italian dude.
Yeah.
Classic Lowvillian.
Okay, cool. I mean, again, I don't even remember that.
It's not personal.
It's not personal.
It's not.
Those guys crossed the line. West Branch. They crossed the line. Zero exactly, which is why we do this. It's not I can't stress that enough.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, like immediately whenever we do this stuff and go after like a government, they think it's personal.
Yeah, no,
it's not personal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it may get personal with individuals and politicians when they start attacking us,
Right.
which you've been flipped off by a village
Councilman.
Yeah. We've had a
That guy
lawyer.
sucks.
We've had the village lawyer call us assholes and all
Yeah,
this
yeah.
other stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. You know, it's crazy. We had the West Branch board president's husband attack
Call
us.
us outrage generators.
Attack us.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. But
There wouldn't be outrage if you weren't leading poorly.
Exactly. I had a post for the Lowville thing. Somebody said, "Why? What did they say?" They said, "You guys are just trying to cause issues."
No.
No, we're not trying to cause issues. We're trying to fix problems.
Right.
We're trying to bring awareness.
If the people of Lowville thought that it was okay for you to go onto somebody's property and take their stuff, it wouldn't have been shared as much.
Yep.
It wouldn't have been, because nobody would have cared. But
Correct.
because you did that, and because people think it's wrong, they're sharing it. Take some responsibility for your own missteps and your own actions.
Yep.
That's what the government needs to do. And they never do that.
Nope.
And the people are obviously fed up with it, or else they wouldn't care and they wouldn't follow it.
Right. Agreed. You ready? Nuclear fallout.
Can I go pee first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
We have, while Isaac goes pee, we have 35 people watching. Can you give us a like and a follow? Please, like. We got 10 likes, smiley face. Give us an angry face, whatever. And then also, please like and follow the MLO Bros. Like and follow Youngstown Studio. Are we ever going to make like a Youngstown Talk Channel Facebook page? I thought about that. Is that just confusing?
There's too many of them already, so maybe one day.
Youngstown Talk Channel, too many. We have
We just have too many outgoing sources and
Yeah.
marketing and sharing
Yeah,
them.
it's good.
Yeah.
Right now, huh? It is. All right, Isaac. When Isaac comes back, we're going to talk about nuke survival in or near Youngstown, Ohio. What we can do to survive. Will we survive, Joe?
Mhm.
It's ugly.
Mhm.
It is ugly.
Have you prepared at all for that consideration? Do you have
Yeah,
any preparation?
I'm going to go to your house.
Yeah, I'm prepared.
I'm sure you are.
Totally prepared.
I'm sure I'm going to go to your house and we'll knock and you're not going to let me in, but I'm going to be outside your door.
Mhm.
Joe!
Okay.
Joe!
Yeah. Get in your time machine and go prepare for yourself. Don't take my resources.
Joe, I need your
No.
resources.
No, I feel bad for you, but
Joe!
I have limited supply.
Do you have a bunker?
I don't have a bunker.
Do you have supplies?
Yes, lots of supply.
How many supplies? How long? How long you living?
I'm going for 3 months. I got to be cool for 3 months.
Dude, you're going to need longer than 3 months.
I know.
You're going to need longer than 3 months.
Yeah.
Poland library outrage. Is it a love of opulence and a better than you mentality, or justified? Have you heard about this Poland library
did.
thing? Is it weird? People keep asking me to cover it. I'm going to be honest with you. Poland people might get mad at me. I don't care. That's my opinion. Isaac, do you care about the Poland library?
Do I care about it?
Yeah.
I think it's a very cool old building, but I think that they need to do something different with it other than a library, because the internet exists.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't go to it. I don't need it. My kids don't go to it. They don't need it.
What you need to do is
I'm
you need
sorry.
to make it.
I don't care.
It's a beautiful location.
It is.
You need to make it a restaurant, a really, really nice steakhouse
Yes. Oh,
restaurant.
could you imagine a steakhouse in
They're
there?
beautiful. You have the parking out back.
Oh,
A beautiful steakhouse restaurant, because you have rich people living in
Rose,
Poland.
Yeah,
You
that'd be
have
great.
beautiful decor in there.
You could put
beautiful
a
restaurant.
patio by the
Yeah.
river,
But they won't do it because they're stupid
dude.
and they're stuck in their ways.
Yeah,
And they don't realize that you can literally go on your phone and look up using AI any of the books that you have in your dumb library.
can you make a post today and poll it on the MLO Bros and share it to Poland page?
Right.
Let's do it. Let's do a new thing. Make the Poland library a steakhouse.
Yeah.
Can you push the
awesome-
bourbon back? He walked it off again for some
Oh,
reason.
is that me?
Every time you
I
push it
walked
off.
the bourbon off.
So, have you guys ever been to the Youngstown Library?
No.
All right, we're gonna
Once.
do
Wait,
I
the
think,
one
I think
on-
a few times.
right up on the hill.
by in the Youngstown on Youngstown campus.
It's right across from YSU campus. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yep.
Have you seen the technology that they
I
added?
haven't been in
And
there in 20 years.
we'll do a show from. I'm actually on the board, the library board. Did you know that?
No.
Freaking
No.
dork.
You're in everything. What a
Such a
freaking nerd.
He's such a
Somebody,
nerd.
BJ, can you give me a locker so I can shove this nerd in it?
So
Dude,
we're
how much-
gonna do
how
a
much
show
lunch
for-
money you got on
This
you?
is why you're the Chihuahua. Yeah.
You always ask why you're the Chihuahua.
This is such a
yeah.
Being a member of the Youngstown Library Board, it's such a Chihuahua thing to do.
By the way, other than the
By the
spelling,
way, everybody on the internet, if you ever pick on Joe, I will kill you.
did you see the AI generation of us escaping the
I
nuclear
can pick on
bomb?
Joe. You can't pick on Joe. I will kill you.
Us escaping the nuclear bomb, and the AI generation automatically put the Chihuahua on my back as we run away from the nuclear
Just
bomb.
know.
My legs are small.
We're honestly the dog breeds are perfect.
It's so
Literally
Perfect.
It's so funny. And then, but like AI, it must be going out to our pictures because it picks those dog breeds.
Perfect.
It picks those dogs.
Yeah.
And why am I a bulldog? Like
Yeah,
it
you're,
immediately makes me a
and
bulldog.
I'm just the lab, just
And then
hanging out, having a good time.
sometimes-
Happy and fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes it automatically, the AI, it pulls these pictures over. It must grab the stuff. It makes Joe a Chihuahua.
Every time.
Yeah,
me a
and that's a
bulldog.
good one. AI usually blunders, but the
Spelling was
spelling's
wrong.
wrong. But other than that, the nuke is perfect. In the background.
Sometimes it'll take it cuts our sleeves off, which makes me laugh.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's so funny.
The funds the library has and the taxes they get yearly.
Yeah, Joe.
What's going
So
on? with
I'm
the
not on
library?
the financial end
Yeah.
of
Well,
this
you're on the
board
board,
at
though.
all,
You need to
but
know,
it's
though.
marketing, promotions, project planning,
You get
technology.
taxes though. Tax
The-
dollars.
The library, yeah, it gets tax.
Joe,
dollars.
why don't you do the classic Youngstown thing and just have the library sponsor us so we can get that money
Okay,
and then we'll talk about it.
all right. I'll float the resolution in there, and I'll definitely be a vote.
How many people?
I don't-
How many people are on the board?
There's probably 10.
Listen,
10 that I
I
know
don't
of.
want. I
We
don't
need
want
6.
I don't want the library to sponsor us because I don't want to have the like internal obligation to go and use the library because they sponsor us. Waste my time.
Just say that you
using-
can't read.
Using an outdated thing that nobody uses anymore because they have a smartphone.
Dude,
Like, I loved the idea of libraries. I think it's great. I think it was wonderful at one point, but there's no point in having them.
Here-
They are a waste
here's
of space.
actually, this is so
for
funny.
other than like collectors of books.
one of the things with the nuclear survival. Okay, this was actually a point with the nuclear survival, like long-term survival of the human
Archives
race.
are important.
Was archives.
Mhm.
Was archives of books
Yeah,
and archives of survival of like farming.
yeah.
What else? Economics.
Right.
That kind of stuff was actually part of the long-term
Hey,
survival. of the
you know what we
nuclear
could do?
holocaust.
We could take all the books, we could put them on a goddamn flash drive, and we could bury the flash drive down in a bunker really, 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 really far down
You're
in the
not going
ground.
to have power.
Yeah.
You-
when the EMP portion hits
You're
and
not
fries
gonna
all
have power.
electronics, then what are you going to do?
You don't have power.
Okay, you put instructions on a tablet of how to build a computer.
Electronics get fried
Dude.
unless they're in a Faraday cage. And
Yeah.
there's instructions on building your own Faraday cage.
You
that's
guys
in
aren't thinking about this enough. We
Okay.
put in stone
there. Oh, a stone
a
tablet.
stone
So
tablet.
you are going to do the works
Listen,
of
listen.
rebuilding civilization.
Just hear
on a
me
freaking
out.
stone
God.
tablet.
Just hear me out, okay? Before you start judging,
Okay,
just hear me out.
we can etch it on
We
the glass
build a
roof.
bunker. We build a bunker capable of surviving
thousand
nuclear
years
blasts.
from now, thousand
Yeah,
years
yeah,
from
yeah.
now.
They eventually find said bunker, goes down into the ground. They come upon a stone tablet that teaches them how to build a computer. It teaches them.
1,000 years from now. Why does this stone tablet? They want me to cut the roof off of a mall.
And we give them a flash drive. And we say,
a moron
here
would do
is-
Were
this?
they high? Is that-
there's got to be something other than books. There's got to be a way. Hey, here's all of our information, and it's in a bunker. Like, there's no point.
Brian just said the same thing and build a bunker with a classroom. Why? What? Like the guy's like 1,000. Like, why would we do this?
Like, yeah. No, I get it. But like, you can have some kind of tech that will teach the human race how everything that we know. There's got to be a way other than just books.
Silo. That's the TV
Yeah.
show Silo. Did you ever watch Silo?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good one. That's
Mhm.
kind of very similar to what we're talking
Yep.
about, actually.
Project Horizon Zero Dawn too. They
Another one.
The humans all die out, and then what they do is the robots are taking over. The robots eventually consume mass, like human mass, and like all of the, just take over the entire world, and then the humans know they're going to die, so they make robots that jumpstart humanity again and start it over.
There you go.
And then they teach them everything.
All right. So this is based on Youngstown, Ohio.
Okay.
Nuke survival in or near Youngstown, Ohio. Is Youngstown a target? Yes or no?
No,
Yes.
it was at
Well,
one point.
close enough.
It was at
Ravenna.
one
Ravenna
point.
would be.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Not directly. It is not a high value military target or infrastructure.
Who would have thought? We don't have anything.
We got books.
We got books. And
We have an awesome library.
we got books, and they're gonna be like, we need to bomb that freaking mall with a freaking glass roof because that is a freaking atrocity.
You've attracted attention to us,
They're
Isaac.
like, the guy's flying over with a bomb. What the fuck is that bomb?
that ugly piece of garbage down there.
Whatever that
it's
is.
like the nuke's gonna go to Ravenna, and then it's gonna go to the mall.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like this.
Yeah, they're-
Why'd you guys bomb the Youngstown,
so
the
bad?
Boardman Mall? It was ugly.
We were going after Cheyenne Mountain, but your mall sucks.
So bad.
Sucks so bad. All right. Ravenna Air Force Base, Pittsburgh, 1 hour
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
Cleveland,
Okay.
Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton.
Dayton.
Those would all be major targets. So fallout is a bigger risk, not the initial blast. Okay.
It doesn't fall out. It's like it follows the weather. So it was
It's gonna
going
fall-
east-west.
Yes.
So Pittsburgh, even though it bombed us and they were close to me, it would still
Depending
depending on the wind.
Exactly. You get some south, you get some. It
Yeah.
depends. I mean, so you got to figure we are surrounded by cities.
Right. Poland's. I
I
mean,
mean,
you were
think
screwed.
about
I'm farther
Cleveland
south,
coming off the
thank
lake.
God. But yeah,
You understand? Now, this is if it's like full blown nuclear war.
yeah.
Like
but
a
they're probably going to light off like 3. It's going to be L.A.,
Right.
New York City, and where else? Where would the top 3 United States
Yeah.
cities be?
Military
Brian.
installations over in Nevada and
This
Wyoming.
is full blown war. We're not talking about like a random straggler bomb. Like
Right,
a random
right.
straggler bomb.
New York City. New York City or L.A.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a dirty bomb, like
Yeah,
a
dirty,
populated
yeah.
area.
Yeah.
That would change it too. I didn't do that.
And dare I say, if New
Dec-
York City and LA got blown off the face of the earth, we'd agree on a lot more as a country.
Politics
Right.
would change
Politics
for sure.
would change dramatically.
Look, Brian says, hell, we got gases from East Palestine, right?
The,
Chicago.
the popular vote would
Right.
definitely shift.
Okay. What to do in Youngstown if a nuke drops nearby?
I'll see if it lines up with what I'm
Yeah.
ready to do.
Yeah. Shelter immediately.
Yes.
Don't try and flee unless you know the blast site and wind direction. Basement in a solid home, interior room, no windows, concrete walls. Okay. Stay sheltered 24 to 48 hours minimum, ideally 7 to 10 days if fallout is severe. So fallout's only for 7 to 10 days.
Yeah, it dissipates pretty quickly. In where the blast hits, it contaminated for hundreds of years. But outside of that, when the dust is just flowing into the atmosphere, it'll settle.
But
All right.
we did, when we bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, we didn't do, it wasn't technically a dirty bomb. It was blown up over top of the ground.
Right.
It was detonated above the ground. If it would have hit
Yeah.
the ground and detonated, it would have destroyed the soil.
Right.
But we didn't do that. So, it
So,
would just depend.
so we would have to stay away from Dayton, Cleveland, Pittsburgh. We're not going near that.
Some
because
of
it's gonna
the-
be like radiated for hundreds and thousands.
But the other thing is, like Neil deGrasse Tyson has said in interviews, like most of the bombs that they have now don't have nuclear radiation or fallout. They just blow up, and they're like such big hydrogen bombs or
Right.
whatever that they don't have fallout. So there wouldn't be a fallout issue
Okay.
if there was nuclear war today.
That makes me feel better. Okay.
Right.
And you seal all of your windows and doors with tape so
Yeah.
that you don't get in drafts in. Your air conditioning will suck that stuff in.
Okay.
So you seal off all the
makes
cracks.
So weeks like this week, we're just cooking.
You would cook.
You'd cook. Okay.
So that's why basement would be a little bit easier to stomach.
Because you could block everything
Yep.
off. Sealed water, 1 gallon per person per day. Do you have that?
Oh yeah. Fill it
1
with-
gallon per person per day. That's a poop ton of water.
You
Where you
just-
gonna put
You
that?
fill your bathtub. You just fill your bathtub with water before it gets to you, and then
So
use
I
water out of the
have-
bathtub.
Would my well water be screwed?
Unless it's
Well,
sealed. Is it?
It said the
No, it's
well water
groundwater.
actually asked that. It
Groundwater.
said it would depend on
Location.
the location and the seepage and how deep your well is,
Yeah.
and if it seeps into the groundwater.
Yeah. Eventually, it would get contaminated.
At my house, I have I have 10 5-gallon sealed that go into the water tank thing.
Yeah.
So I have 10 of those. So as
You'd
long as they hit on the day it's not empty, I'll be all right. I like the day, like the refill day.
You're not thinking far enough ahead. If it's a full blown nuclear war and all of our the infrastructure's
you're
gone, you're
screwed.
so hosed.
Yeah.
I'd rather be in the blast
Yep.
and just die.
Battery, hand crank radio, non-perishable food. You got that?
Oh yeah.
You got a hand crank radio?
I don't think I do. I have a
How
little
about it?
hand crank battery, but I could. Yeah, no big
Duct tape and plastic seals of the vents.
Mhm.
Potassium iodine
deal. I got
tablets.
those tablets.
You
Buy
have
them
those?
once a year.
God.
Yeah.
I've watched Chernobyl.
hey,
I know you take iodine tablets.
Isaac, when this goes down, we're immediately getting my guns and we're going to take over Joe's
Yeah,
house.
we're taking over Joe's. Listen, survival of the fittest, big guy. Sorry, dude. We revert back to cavemen. Like,
Isaac, immediately come to my house. We'll get my guns. We're
just going to Joe's.
Joe's.
listen, why prepare when we can just steal
Oh,
it from
Joe!
Joe?
I'm not afraid of the radiation so much as the people and the chaos that will
Oh.
ensue after it. Because again, the
Yeah.
EMP
Oh,
wipes out electronics.
We revert
Everything's
back
done.
to animals.
Yes.
Yep.
This actually gets in. It's so good. This gets into that. Okay. If nuclear war or even limited exchange happened, the long-term effects on the world, the economy, and that kind of stuff.
That's when you're screwed. You could make it the first couple weeks. but you're
Global
dead.
climate collapse, nuclear winter, firestorms would launch millions of tons of soot into the atmosphere. This blocks sunlight, global cooling, 3 to 10 degrees Celsius, 5 to 18 degrees Fahrenheit. Results: crop failure on every continent, mass famine, estimates 1 to 5 billion deaths from starvation.
Jesus.
Ecosystems collapse, ocean, forest, pollinators all die.
5 to 7 billion die, dude.
1 to
that's
7
the
billion deaths.
1 to 7 billion. That's the planet. You're down to
They're saying
seventh
like
of the
they're
population.
saying, yeah, they're saying it's like 1 to 5% of the population's left. In pockets of Africa,
the indigenous people who have survived will
Yeah.
be fine.
northwest Canada, northeast Canada, like the far reaches where
Yeah.
where you're above the weather, where the fall.
You don't think like Appalachian mountains would be all right?
They said pockets. It all depends on the weather in the pockets.
Wow.
Yeah, nuclear winter is the big bitch because
Yeah.
I mean, you drop the temperature, you block out the sun,
Yeah, it's
you
gonna
make
be
it
too
so you
cold.
can't breathe.
gonna
Yeah,
be too
Dude,
cold in the
remember the
mountains.
movie The Road?
Yeah.
That's what you're looking at. Did you ever see The Road?
No.
The movie The Road, dude.
And then the
watch that.
problem too is everybody's going to head south in the southern hemisphere is going to head north to get to the equator where it's warmer. Everybody's going to be fighting and killing each other along the way.
You're screwed. Yeah. Agricultural meltdown. Grain exports shut down. No growing season in many places for 2 to 5 years because of nuclear fallout.
Oh boy.
Even countries untouched by the bombs would run out of food. Public health collapse. Hospitals destroyed and overwhelmed. Radiation sickness, burns, diseases, outbreaks. No infrastructure to handle it. Potable water and sanitation breakdown. Long-term cancer, birth defects spike. This is fun. This is a good way to end this. Economic Armageddon. Global trade halts. Banks collapse. Markets vanish. Currencies become worthless. Hyperinflation. Bartering takes over. Electricity, internet, fuel chains, supply chains gone or rationed. Psychological and societal breakdown, mass trauma, generational PTSD, breakdowns of law and order, warlords, militias, tribal survivalism.
Dude. You're not including the massive amounts of rape and murder.
Right? Yeah. No, there's no doubt.
Like you're going back to warlords. Like the women are getting wrangled up because it's no longer about like societal norms and who is the strongest.
Yeah,
who has the
everybody
most
right now
guns.
with this fun is logging off. We're down to 20 people. We went from 4. Yeah.
Barbarians.
it's a good thing we have 1,000 nuclear warheads because this is the outcome we're purchasing.
Yeah, right.
Even if we use 5 of them.
Yeah. Migration chaos. Billions trying to move away from fallout zones. Radiation legacy. Fallout zones remain dangerous for decades. Mutated crops, animals in some areas, uninhabitable cities like thousands of Chernobyls across the globe.
Right.
Long-term recovery. If humanity actually survives, full global recovery could take 50 to 100 plus years. Technology set back a century or more. Electricity impossible for thousands of years. Potential rise of authoritarian governments or post-nation survival groups. Billions dead if this goes full scale. Billions dead. Most governments collapse. Earth becomes colder, hungrier, sicker, and more violent. Survival depends on where you are, what you know, and how fast you act. Woo! You are. Is what
Big
this
time.
is. You are
Game
screwed.
over.
You are talking. I mean, we're all dead, except for pockets of like you're talking absolute nobody left.
So then the question is, do you want to die on Impact Day with him and get it out of the way, or do you want to try to survive a couple of months and eventually probably die anyway?
Probably. I'd rather just die on impact.
I mean, preferably die on impact, right?
Statistically,
But
the chances of you surviving are nothing.
yeah, dude, you're
Very
talking,
slim.
You're talking. It's like making the NBA.
And then the other thing,
I mean, it's back to the NBA.
well,
thing you
the other
started.
thing too is what they're not telling you is like the people who will survive will be the people who actively hunt, because you're going to need to hunt for food at some point.
The people who survive, it's going to be. I think it's going to be first off where you're located. Right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
going to be number one. So I think everybody in the U.S. is dead.
Other than like Texas, because
How?
Texas doesn't fuck around.
No, but it's not going to matter because of the fallout, because of the rape, pillaging, murder, because of the amount of people. You got to figure if the fallout, if the bomb doesn't get you, the fallout doesn't get you. Then you're talking about
The weather.
Food,
starvation,
contaminated water.
So you need to be out in the
and
middle
then
of
you're
nowhere.
talking, and then you're talking about
in a
other
country that-
people killing you
Yeah,
for your supplies and rations. Then you're talking about warlords and everything else.
right.
The only people I think surviving are going to be the people like in North Canada,
Like the Amazon rainforest that are already
Amazon
living
rainforest. Right?
Well,
Like,
it will envelop the entire globe. Just it'll take a while to get there, but the
Right.
whole globe will be filled.
but they'll
with that.
be able to survive. Like they have a better chance of surviving because
Right.
they're not
Being not
They
around
already-
people.
and they already know how to hunt. They already know how to survive without technology.
right.
are the
Those
people who survive.
have the best.
Somebody on an
chances.
indigenous island, they'll be fine.
Right. Those would have the best. I mean, the oceans are screwed. Like you're
Yeah.
so you,
And my theory is that if they lit them off, the nukes, it would trigger earthquakes and volcanoes. So now you'll have super volcanoes that are spewing carbon dioxide into the air and
Fantastic.
choking everybody off.
Yeah,
we're
I mean,
out.
So what do you say about like? How do you guys feel about the scientists that say that like if it should have happened already and it hasn't? So the people in charge most likely won't do it because they know like everybody dies. It's nothing more than like just flexing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's that dick contest. It's
Yeah.
just like Iran is
Yeah.
pretending like they have
The-
nukes to intimidate
Trying-
its
trying to
neighbors.
become a global player.
I think
Yeah.
the bigger threat, the highest threat isn't going to be a nuclear war. It's going to be a bomb or two going off in a major city.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
what's going to happen.
agree.
Yeah.
It'll be a big bomb going off in a city that'll wipe out an entire
Yeah.
whatever and then fall out and then you're screwed. That's
LA. Please be LA. Please be LA. Please be LA.
Just as far away from him as you can get, and politics change.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, if
That's
if the popular vote, if
It'll
you
be-
blew up LA, the popular vote.
what's the
immediately
name of
changes.
I forget the name of it. There's a show on, it's called Angel Network that I was watching, but it'll be New York,
in LA?
Washington,
DC, yeah, it'll be DC,
DC,
New York
Washington.
City.
That's what it'll be. Dr. Fauci's opinion, have him on as a guest. I mean, so a nuclear. I mean, if a nuclear war happens, we're all screwed.
Oh, so
That's good thinking. If a random nuke goes off,
we all right. We all right.
Yeah, they test them underground all the time, and nobody dies because of it. So.
right? So what I'm saying, let's say
But
a terrorist group gets one nuke and sets it off somewhere.
Mhm.
Odds are
that's
it's
what-
going to suck, but we're going to be better. We'll be okay.
And
I
that's
think
why
we'll
it's
live for a little
good to
while.
live in
Yeah.
Youngstown, Ohio. Thank you everybody for being here. We love it here. Thank
Except when the terrorist group finds out about Isaac's Mall, and they're going to be like, "Mother,
Listen,
what kind of
if this
freaking
guy, Mike, if you're listening to me right now and you take credit for my idea and it ends up blowing up, I am going to sue. I just want you to know right now, I'm coming for my mall. Okay.
Here's what I'm gonna do later. I'm gonna get a picture of the mall. I'm gonna ask AI to design the mall, take
Turn
the roof
the
off,
glass
and
Turn this
it
building
into.
into a massive greenhouse with cool stores and restaurants to attract the people.
That's what we're gonna do.
That's what's gonna.
All
I'm
right.
telling you, it's a great idea. It'll
Let's
work.
have you ever bought anything from MacBid?
No.
I'm gonna go.
My wife does. It's freaking miserable. You're gonna
Why?
get a table with 3 legs,
Seriously,
probably.
I bought a
it's
basket.
damn it.
There's like a 30%
Give me some odds.
chance. 30% chance you get that table doesn't have it.
30% it doesn't. So
it doesn't.
70%
chance. 70% chance. It's wonderful. And
I got a basketball hoop.
Oh, that is coming without a part. It's not going to have the net, or it'll have like it won't have the rim, or it'll have something.
Well, I have another hoop that's broken.
Like a major component that you need.
Are you sure?
Yeah, like we ordered a pancake griddle.
Okay.
Order a pancake griddle
Okay.
on. Or my Shelby's family ordered pancake griddle. Doesn't have one of the legs. So it's like, oh, you're gonna make some pancakes on your pancake griddle, but it's not level, so you're boned. Like,
So what do you use it?
no, you get it, and you opt to get insurance. Did you get the insurance?
No.
Yeah, so you're screwed.
I've rolled the
Be like,
dice.
here you go. And my wife will just have me pick up random stuff that'll just go in.
So
a
what happens
closet.
if you get insurance?
If it doesn't have a leg, you can take it back and you get your money back.
I probably should have done the insurance.
Yeah, because you're gonna get that basketball hoop. You're gonna put this thing together. And you're like, why isn't it going together? It's because it's missing one component that is super important to the entire
I'm gonna
thing.
make it work.
That the last guy bought it just so he could take that, then returned it, then sold it to MacBit.
Shoot.
That's what happened.
Shoot.
Yeah,
How much is the insurance?
a couple bucks.
Is it really? You
Yeah.
should about the insurance.
Ah, darn it.
But when MacBid first started, it was amazing. Like O'Heal got into it
Because
when it
you could
first
just bring
started,
stuff back randomly.
but not a lot of people knew about it.
Right.
So they were selling stuff to MacBid, hoping the prices would go up. You get like a Bluetooth speaker for $2.
Yeah.
You get like a light fixture for $7.
Yeah.
Now so many people know about it, so they bid against each other, and you're bidding a broken light fixture up to $30, and it's like not worth the risk.
Fede says just filter the search as like new. All right, I'll do that next time. I don't know. I'm trying to get stuff for the office too. So okay. All right, let's go. I got stuff to do. Let's go.
All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. We appreciate you for being here. If you haven't already, go down below, give the MLO Bros a like, give them a follow, give Youngstown Studio a like and follow. We have 24 people still watching. Go give us a like before you leave so that we get up to 24 likes. Also, you need a home. You need purchasing, selling, need financing. MLO Bros stands for Mortgage Loan Originator Brothers. We're licensed loan officers. We are licensed realtors. We have a platform. Let's help you sell your house and use us to help you buy a house, whatever you want to do. Also, check out Youngstown Studio. This is Youngstown Studio. We are in Youngstown Studio. You can do your own podcast down here. All you got to do is call Joe, call Youngstown Studio, have him set you up. You can do your own podcast and talk about your awesome ideas. But thank you so much for watching Youngstown Talk Channel. We'll see you Friday, and we'll call Brian again and annoy him. So,
Mike.
Thank you for listening to this show on Youngstown Studio. This is original Youngstown content. Feel free to share our videos and tell your friends about us. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook.